Mom, join mom. Can I start, mom?
Vishwambari ma'am,
Yes, sir.
shall we start the session, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me start the recording. Yes. Um, Very good evening to everyone. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science Shift to Petition College of Arts and Science, I am happy to start the first day session of the 3-day program, 3-day workshop, a hands-on session on MongoDB. So we planned this workshop as a national workshop, but still we had registration from overseas. So the workshop is upgraded to international workshop, and all the participants will receive the certificate as international workshop. So I'm very happy that we had a number of registrations, and we had a very efficient and knowledgeable person as a resource person among us, Dr. Nisman Rio. So I would like to start the first day session with a prayer by Princy Priyadarshini.
Dear Almighty God, thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We are truly grateful for them. Thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this seminar. May you extend your divine wisdom to our honorable and respectable speaker, Dr. Nisman. May he be blessed as he continues to bring his expertise to people who need them. Bless the participants as well, so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity. May you bestow your blessings after this seminar so that we may go out and spread what we learned in the spirit of your love and generosity. May we realize that this activity should glorify your name. Amen.
Thank you, Princy, for your prayer. Now, our student Vikram will give the welcome address followed by the introduction of the resource person of the day. Welcome, Vikram.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Vikram S. from Department of Computer Science, Shift 2. I'm very happy to welcome our chief guest, Dr. R. Nisman Rio, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Christ University, Bangalore. And I also extend my warm welcome to Director and Secretary, Reverend Brother Dr. S. R. Raj, sir, and Academic Director, Dr. Fatima Masan, ma'am, our Principal, Dr. Usha George, and Vice Principal, Geeta Rufus, ma'am, and Dr. Meena, ma'am. I would like to welcome our professors, head of the department, faculties and students from various college and institutions. I am very happy to introduce our chief guest of the day, Dr. R. Nisman Rio, Assistant Professor, Christ University. Sir presently working as Assistant Professor in Christ University, Bangalore. He has done research interest in route optimization in mobile ad hoc, network, Internet of Things, and other wireless data technologies. Sir has received PhD from Bishop Heber College affiliated to Bharatdasan University, India. Sir has published more than 25 papers in national and international conferences and journals and also published 5 patents in field of communication technologies. Sir has delivered a versatile lecture on wireless technology and Internet of Things in various colleges. Sir certified in international courses AWS Fundamental, Going Cloud Native, Wireless Network for Everybody and Database Management Essential. Sir has completed 2 consultancy projects from private organizations and also participated in state, national and international level seminars and various topics. Sir is a faculty in charge for Indo-German collaboration project. Sir is a technical committee member and chairperson for various international conferences. Sir is a lifetime member in Indian Society and for Technical Education. Sir is awarded as a Junior Research Fellow JRF and Senior Research Fellow SRF by University Grant Commission. We welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Kumar sir, shall we start?
Yes, thank you, Vikram, for the welcome address and the introduction of the chief guest. So now it's the time for the resource person subject expert, Dr. Nisman Rio. Sir, the session is yours. Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your nice introduction about me.
And excuse me, a small announcement.
Yeah.
So, participants, right now we have reached the maximum. And if any of your friends have registered, I have shared the YouTube link in the WhatsApp group. Ask them to watch in the YouTube link. And there also they can ask the doubts. Thank you, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I hope, am I audible? Am I visible to all of you? Can you please respond in the chat so that I can move forward?
You
Right?
are audible.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let me share my screen and we'll proceed with that. I hope my shared screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you once again to all of you and warm good evening to one and all those are present here in the session and those who are being part of this 3 days international workshop. Because we have planned for it as a national workshop, as Kumar sir pointed out. So though we are getting maximum responses from international side, so we changed it as an international workshop on MongoDB. Okay, so first of all, I delighted to see all of you because I know that during this difficult time, even after having heavy lunch, this is time to sleep. So by leaving all these difficulties, without considering this difficulties, you people have come here to learn something newly in the field of computer science. Okay, so first of all, I thank the management of Patrician College. I thank the Reverend Brothers, principal, vice principal, and the faculty members of computer science department. And also I would like to thank HOD of the department and the coordinators who have arranged this workshop for you people. Okay, so welcome you all once again from my side, and so we'll move on to the session now. Okay, so as I said before, it's going to be 3 days international workshop on the topic MongoDB. Okay, so before we moving into the session, I just would like to give some introduction about this workshop. Okay, um, the ultimate aim of this workshop is to give you the knowledge in the domain of MongoDB. Okay, maybe you were learning about many databases from UG level, and also you might have heard about this database. I'm not sure how many of you are master in this database concept, MongoDB concept. Okay, so probably at least you would have heard about this term MongoDB. So one of the database widely used in industry level of research also, as well as for one of the mainly used database uh, for storing and retrieving the data. Okay. Maybe on those days we were using many databases. We were used to store the data uh, using the my Microsoft Access, and followed by we were using MySQL concept and many things. Okay, so this before we are going to discuss about all these things, I just would like to give the overview about the workshop on what we are going to discuss for the next 2 days. So today, including this day, we'll be having 3 days of workshop on MongoDB. Okay, so before that, I will just give you the brief introduction about this MongoDB, then we will move on to the session. Okay, so now we are on the day one. So on the day one, what we are going to discuss about in the topic MongoDB, basically we will start with the introduction, and in the introduction we will be discussing about what is MongoDB and what are the things are which things are connected with respect to MongoDB, and other things we will be discussing in this introduction part. Okay, and followed by we'll be seeing the difference between what is the main difference between the traditional RDBMS concept and how it differs in MongoDB concept. Okay, and followed by we will see document and collection. What is document and collection? What are the rules that we have to follow when we work with the MongoDB shell? So all these things will be covering in this session as part of day one, and followed by I will take you to the installation step, how to install the MongoDB. Maybe some of you already might have installed this software on your device, but however, I will take you to the installation of this particular software from the scratch. Okay, how to do that. And so the prerequisite is that to all the participants, please connect with me always throughout the session, because we are going to learn about the new database concept. Okay. So if you are having any queries, you can stop me at any time. Also, you can make a note of the points, and at the end of the session, you can ask me the questions. Okay. Okay, so day two, I'll brief about this later. In the day two, we'll be working with the MongoDB shell. So that I will brief in the second day. So tomorrow probably I will tell about what are the operations we are going to perform with MongoDB shell. Okay, and followed by day three, we'll be doing some operations in the MongoDB shell. That I will brief about this later. Okay, so whenever I'm going for this kind of workshop, usually the question and answer discussion will be there in the end of the session. But I would like to start the question and answer in the beginning itself. Maybe some of you people may be from different disciplines, so maybe some of you people may posing a diploma courses. Okay, So I would like to start this session with some frequent question. Maybe this question and answer will be helpful for you to analyze what is the purpose of being here to learn about the MongoDB concept. Okay. So first question I should ask this: why should I learn MongoDB? Okay. So this is a question many of us people is having. Why should I learn MongoDB? MongoDB. What is the use of that? So if I learn this MongoDB, what is the benefit I will be getting? So this is the most common query to all the participants, right? Even I was thinking when I am learning about this database. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, um, this MongoDB concept is a more widely used database in the industry aspect. Okay, as you all know that recent advancement shown in the recent advancement shown tremendous affecting in the field of database concept. Okay, not only in the MongoDB, there are. I think I can't see the comments in the chat. Maybe Shomari ma'am, you can let me know if there is any question in the chat. Okay.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So as I said before, you might be knowing about different database concepts, okay, which start from traditional RDBMS concept to advanced level of database concept, okay. Not only the MongoDB, there are many NoSQL databases are there. You might have heard about Redis, Hive database, HBase database. The reason why I have chosen this database, MongoDB, means it is going to boom the industry maybe in future. Okay, so as of now, it is in the beginning. Maybe after 2-3 years, the MongoDB database will be widely used by the people around the world. Okay, so as I said before, the main motto of this workshop is to give you the knowledge about MongoDB so that you'll be getting some understanding about the MongoDB shell, how to work with MongoDB shell, and what are the projects can be done using the MongoDB. Because this workshop is mainly arranged for faculty members, research scholars, and students. I hope many of the students are here. You can start exploring your project and by connecting with the MongoDB database. And similarly, the research scholars and the faculty members, you can explore many things in the MongoDB concept. So also you can do your research in the MongoDB concept, through which you'll be able to identify what are the data breaches are happening in the MongoDB shell, so that it will be a good start for you to learn about MongoDB. Okay, so this is the first question I would like to put across to you people. And the second question is that, is MongoDB better than SQL? Okay, here I don't want to debate the traditional way of RDBMS concept and the NoSQL concept. Obviously, the MongoDB database is more best database concept for faster accessing. So that is the purpose we are using the MongoDB concept. The reason I will tell you later why we are migrated from traditional RDBMS concept to MongoDB concept. Okay. But here, what I can emphasize on this question, it's not about the use of MongoDB, whether the MongoDB is better or the traditional way of SQL is better. Always it depends upon the place where you are deploying this database. That is the main role of using this MongoDB concept. Okay, so here this MongoDB concept is being used for faster accessing in order to store the unstructured data. That is the reason we are using MongoDB concept. Okay, so we cannot debate that whether SQL is better or no, MongoDB is better. Okay, so unless or until if you are not knowing the purpose of using this MongoDB, then we cannot learn about these things very easily. Okay, so it's up to you whether you want to work with SQL or MongoDB. Okay, so as I said before, the main motto of this workshop is to give you the knowledge about the MongoDB. Okay, so maybe you can learn about Hive database, HBase database. Many databases are there that you can explore, and you can install those databases also on your device, and you can work on that. Okay. And the next question, what is MongoDB good for? So actually, this MongoDB database is being used to handle large amount of data. You know that on those days we were using Microsoft Access in order to store and retrieve the data. For example, if you take the educational organization, they were using Microsoft Access in order to store the student details and the employee details. Okay. After that, we migrated from Microsoft Access to MySQL concept. Okay. So we were using those type of databases in order to store and retrieve the data. Okay. So then what is the reason that we have migrated from traditional databases to NoSQL databases? So basically the MongoDB database is a NoSQL. I'll tell you why it is being referred as a NoSQL database. Okay. So that if you take the traditional RDBMS concept, probably when you are trying to store a large amount of data, so you cannot store a large amount of data as there is a limitation in the space. Okay, so that is the reason we are migrated to MongoDB database as part of the NoSQL concept. Okay, so in the MongoDB database, we can store large amount of data as well as we can store any unstructured data. Okay, maybe the people who are doing research in the area of big data, map reduce algorithm, you can use this type of NoSQL concept because which supports unstructured data in order to store and retrieve the data. So in that aspect, this MongoDB is good to go for your learning as well as for your research things. Okay, and next question, is MongoDB difficult to learn? Obviously, if you ask me, it is not difficult to learn because everything are very difficult unless or until if you are not knowing about the particular software or if you are not knowing about the particular concept very clearly. Okay, so obviously this is not very difficult to learn. Even the non-computing students also will be able to learn it quickly, and you can get good job opportunities also in the MongoDB concept. Okay, even one of my students, he belongs to commerce department. Okay, so I was teaching him this particular concept personally. Okay, so he was having keen interest to learn about this MongoDB, and after I was teaching him the basic level of MongoDB, not even the advanced level of concept which we use in the MongoDB concept. Okay, so he just went for the placement and he was exploring his competent and other things with respect to his domain, as well as when the interviewer asked about the extracurricular activities, he just explored about this MongoDB concept, and that interview got appointed him as a developer of MongoDB team. So this is the advantage you can get. I hope this session is going to be helpful for you to learn about the MongoDB concept very easily. Okay, so this is not difficult and you can learn it very easily. Okay, so the final question I just like to put across to you people is, MongoDB good to learn? Okay, obviously it's a very easy concept, it is very scalable, and you can learn it very easily, quickly. If you have a consistent performance and if you have consistent reading about the MongoDB database. Okay, even after completing this workshop, you don't give a gap to learn about the MongoDB. So this particular workshop is arranged to give you the knowledge about the MongoDB, as well as beyond this limitation, beyond these things, you have to put your own efforts to learn about this MongoDB things. Okay, probably you can go for some certified course. Okay, so there are many n number of institutions are there to teach about the MongoDB. Okay, so you have to identify which institutions are providing good placement with respect to this MongoDB concept. Maybe this will help you to get the knowledge about the MongoDB, as well as you can get the more value to your profile also. Okay, so obviously this would be your basic question. So I just explored on behalf of you people. Maybe apart from this, if you have any questions, you can note down the question and you can ask me at the end of the session in the chat. Okay. Okay, so now we will move on to the session about the MongoDB. Probably, I think after maybe 30-45 minutes, we'll be having the installation steps, and we'll be start working with the MongoDB shell on tomorrow. That I will tell you about the further schedule. Okay. So the next thing is that first you people have to understand what is the key difference between the traditional way of using the RDBMS concept and the MongoDB concept. So as I mentioned earlier, this MongoDB concept is a NoSQL concept. I'll tell you what is NoSQL, and I will just give you the clear-cut idea about how it differs from RDBMS concept. So as I pointed out earlier in the introduction part, the traditional way of using this RDBMS concept is to store the data in structured order. You know that, right? So for example, if you have done a project in PHP, obviously you'll be connecting your PHP things along with the MySQL database, right? So wherein you will be having some attributes related to your field or table. Okay, so for example, when you are creating the table, employee table, you will be having the employee name, employee number, all these things will be there, right? So all these attributes will be in the order. For example, if you are collecting the employee details about in the order such as employee name, employee number, employee address, like that, you will be having these attributes, right? So you'll be inserting and you will be inserting the attributes one by one. Okay. So however, the MySQL concept is going to give you the limited number of storage to store all this data. Okay. Also, it's going to be store your data in structured order, not in the unstructured order. Okay. But when it comes to MongoDB concept, obviously the things are very different when compared with a traditional way of using the RDBMS concept. Here, what it does actually, when we are trying to store the data in the form of unstructured, it stores the data in unstructured order, because you know that people are now trying to upload more videos on YouTube, Netflix, and on many social medias, right? So all this data are not a structured order. Okay, so it's going to be unstructured. So in order to support the unstructured data, we are using the MongoDB concept. That is the reason we have migrated to NoSQL concept. So here, what do you mean by NoSQL? NoSQL means it is a structureless. It is not schema oriented. But when it comes to RDBMS concept, it's going to be schema oriented. That means what? Whatever the data you are collecting on, whatever the data you are inserting into the database, everything will be in the order. Whenever you are using the RDBMS concept. Okay, and similarly in the MongoDB concept, it's not going to be in the structured order. Definitely, it's going to be the combination of structured as well as the unstructured order. Okay, so that is the reason we are using this. So that's why we call it as a NoSQL schema. Okay, that means not structured query language. But in the RDBMS, we call it as structured query language, SQL. So that is the key difference between SQL and NoSQL. Okay, so I'll just give you the overview about the main difference between RDBMS and MongoDB. So if you look at the first point, it is about the database, whereas in the MongoDB also, it's kind of a database, but it is a NoSQL database. Okay, so that is a point difference between RDBMS and MongoDB. And again, the second point is about whatever the information you are storing into the database, it will store your data in the form of table. But here, what we call it is, we will store all the data in the form of collection. We call it as collection, not as a table. Okay. And the RDBMS concept, we use it as a tuple and row. We call it as tuple and row. Whenever you are inserting new values into the database, we call it as a row or tuple something. But here, whenever we are inserting new values into MongoDB shell, we call it as a document. Okay. So here in the MongoDB, we can insert n number of data. So there is no restriction for storing your data. Okay. So here, whatever the data that we are inserting into MongoDB database, which will be referred as the document. Okay. And similarly, in the RDBMS concept, here we call it as a column. So basically the RDBMS, it stores the data in the form of table and row and column. Okay, but here in the MongoDB we call it as a field. I'll tell you what is a field and other things. And in the RDBMS concept, we were using table join. For example, if you want to merge other tables into the one particular table, you have to use the inner join, outer join, and many things you have to use, right? So here what you can do is that you can use the concept of embedded documents. So here the advantage of using the embedded document plays the vital role here in the MongoDB concept. Here what it does actually, once you created the collection, you can write a n number of documents. Okay, so you can hold many documents in one particular collection. So quickly you can search for the particular document even whenever there are n number of documents are available. So that is the advantage of using this MongoDB concept. Okay, and in the RDBMS concept, this is the basic things that we use in the RDBMS concept in order to avoid the duplicate record in the table. So what we use it as the primary key, right? So you know the concept of primary key. So whenever whenever the user is trying to store the same data, same thing with the same table name or same values, it will generate the error message. That is the concept of the primary key. And similarly, here in the MongoDB also, it provides the condition that we can use the primary key along with the field or whatever the attributes we are giving in the document and collection. Okay, so this is the main difference between RDBMS and MongoDB database. Okay, so here when it comes to database server and the client, okay, so it is going to be the communication between the server and client. For example, if you take the traditional RDBMS concept, we will be connecting with Oracle or SQL Plus. Similarly, there are many traditional databases, PostgreSQL, many things are there. Okay. And here, when it comes to MongoDB database, how we are going to activate the server, you have to just to type the MongoD or Mongo, just you have to type on the terminal. So the moment when you type the MongoDB, the server will be activated and you can start work on the MongoDB shell. Okay, so I'll tell you later after some time how to install this package on your device. Then we will work on the MongoDB shell. Is it clear? So this is a main difference between RDBMS versus MongoDB shell. Okay, and so now we move into the session about the MongoDB concept in detailed manner. Quickly, I will give you about the introduction about the MongoDB so that we can go for the installation steps. Okay, so the MongoDB it's referred as a document-oriented database. Documented-oriented database means whatever the information that you are trying to insert into MongoDB database, it will be in the form of document structure. That means you can view the information in the form of document, okay, which contains the units of data. So as I said before, in the MongoDB shell, you can write and you can insert a n number of data, and this data can be viewed as in the document oriented database view, so that you can do it with the help of a MongoDB database. Okay, so here one thing I just would like to add on with this point. Okay, so here the document oriented database is a cross platform. That means that usually basically this MongoDB package has been written in C++ programming. Okay, along with the JavaScript object notation. We call it as a JSON queries. Okay, so this is this particular MongoDB is available for any platform. It's not only for Windows or Mac or Linux, something related to this, right? So you can install this software on any device so that it is being referred as a cross-platform independent about this MongoDB. Okay, and so in the second one, if you look at that, any number of database you can create, as well as you can add n number of document into one particular collection. For example, if I would like to create a student database, okay, so with respect to the student database, I can create a database wherein I can include more number of attributes and more number of data into the particular collection. Okay, so that I can quickly view the data within a short span of time. So that is one of the main advantage of using this MongoDB things. Okay. And the next points, if you look at the PPT, the specifically associated with MongoDB shell. Okay, so we call it as a MongoDB shell along with the JSON queries. Okay, so basically this MongoDB supports JavaScript object notation. Okay, so if you are uh, well known about the JavaScript concept, so that this MongoDB things will be very easier to learn the concept quickly and efficiently. Okay, so this is a small introduction about MongoDB. Okay, so in the MongoDB, let me hide this screen 1 second. Vishwambaran, is my screen visible now? Okay, now it's coming. Yeah, I hope now it's visible, right? Okay,
Yes.
so yeah. So as I said before, in the MongoDB, there are two different concepts which are mainly used. One is about document and the collection. So first we will discuss about what is collection, and followed by we will move on to the concept about what is document. Okay. So here in the collection means it's a kind of a table. In the traditional, if you look at the traditional way of RDBMS concept, we call it as a table, right? And similarly, in the MongoDB concept, we call it as a collection. So in the collection, there will be n number of documents will be there. So as I pointed out earlier, you can add n number of document into one particular collection. So it holds a group of MongoDB documents. Okay, it's very similar to RDBMS as I said before. Okay, so whatever the things we are doing in the traditional database concept, we call it as a row and table, right? So here the document will be considered as a row, and here the collection will be considered as a table. Okay, so this is about the introduction about collection. Okay, so the reason why I am giving the brief introduction about this collection and document, because through which only we are going to learn about how to insert the data, how to name it as a collection. Many things we'll be seeing in when we have hands-on session on this particular concept. Okay, and the next thing is about the document. So the concept is the document is very simple that right. So whenever we are trying to insert a data in RDBMS relational database concept, so basically how we will insert the values, basically we will create the table, and followed by we'll be inserting the values into the table, right? For example, if I'm creating the student table, and followed by I'll be writing the insert query operation in order to store the details one by one, student name, student student ID, like that. Okay, so many things will be added. And similarly, when we are doing the same things in the MongoDB concept, we call it as a document. Okay, so when we write the document in MongoDB, we will be using key value pair. Okay, please make a note of this point. We use it as a set of key value pairs. So there should be a key whenever you are writing the document in the MongoDB, as well as for the particular corresponding key, you have to write the value. Okay, and each and every document will be having the unique ID. Okay, even if you are not giving the ID, automatically the MongoDB shell will create the default ID. So the default ID will be generated, which consists of 12 digits, which is this is a combination of 12 digits, alphanumeric concept. Okay, so in the traditional RDBMS, in case if you are not using the ID, it won't do nothing, right? And similarly in the MongoDB, even when you are not using the ID attribute, okay, so automatically the MongoDB shell will generate the default ID. The object ID will be generated. Okay. You may ask the question whether we can customize the ID as a primary key or something. Yes, we can do this. We can customize the primary key with the help of one notation that I will tell you how to generate a primary key and other things. Okay. And what is another advantage of using this document? We call it as a dynamic schema. That means you know that the schema can be classified into two types. One is a static and dynamic schema. So here, whenever you are trying to run the program, so you'll be giving the set of values at the runtime, right? So here in the document, we call it as a dynamic schema. That means it is not required to have the same name, same field like that. Okay, so you can give your values in any order, and it's not about the condition that you have to use the attribute in this particular order like that. Okay, so that is why we call it as a dynamic schema. So you no need to require that your data should follow the same procedure like that whenever you are updating the new document. It can be in any form. So that is why we call it as a dynamic schema. Okay, so here in the document things I already told you, right? One second. My system gets hanged. One second. Yeah. So in the document concept, I told about the key values parts. Okay. So whenever you are writing the document, you have to use this attributes as single key and values. For example, whenever I'm using the single key, I have to give at least one key that should be specified in the MongoDB shell. Otherwise, you cannot leave it empty. Unless or until if you are not giving the key value, it won't execute your program. So the error message will be pop up. Okay, at least there should be single key. Okay, and the values, you can add any values with respect to the particular key value. For example, here I am collecting the I'm writing the document about the name of the person. So I'm just, for example sake, I have given my name as Nisman Rio. Okay, so here the key cannot be empty one. Okay, there should be some value. It should not be a null value. So you know the concept about null, right? So whenever you are trying to give the value as a single key, there should be at least one key value. Okay. Similarly, you can create a multiple key value as well as for multiple value pair also. Okay. The condition what we need to follow in the MongoDB shell, at least there should be one single key value to perform the MongoDB operation. Okay. So as you can see in the example here, I have given one document name. Should be in the double quotes, and whenever you are using the string value, it should be enclosed with the double quotes, as well as you can whenever you are using the integer value, it should be given without the quotes. So this is the condition we should follow. Okay, and here as I mentioned earlier, the key must not contain the character as null. So here the key does not support the null character here. Okay, so at least the only one key should be specified in the MongoDB shell. So this is the condition we need to follow when we are performing operation with the MongoDB shell. Okay, so the next feature of this MongoDB shell is about it supports the type sensitive and case sensitive. You know the case sensitive and type sensitive, right? So whenever you are giving the input value, you should not change the same attribute in the next document. In the next document means when you are writing the one particular document. For example, as you can see in the slide, here I have written the age as small letter. Okay, so in the next document, when you are writing the next value in the same document, you should not change it as a capital A. Okay, so it won't execute your program whenever you are trying to execute the program in the MongoDB shell. And similarly, if you are using the lowercase letters, obviously you should use the lower letters only until the completion of your program. Okay, so you should not change it as a capital letter and other things. Okay, and similarly, since the MongoDB is generating the default object ID, so there is no possibilities for generating the duplicate keys. So we cannot create a duplicate key even if you are customizing the ID also. Okay, so it automatically generates the object ID, which consists of alphanumeric things, which consists of 12-digit number. Okay, so here whatever the values and whatever the keys that you are inserting into the particular document, that order, that particular document may be in order or may be unordered. That doesn't matter. Okay, so it may be in any order, whether it's a structure or unstructured. Okay, So these are some of the features that we follow in the MongoDB shell. Okay. And the next condition, what we have to follow whenever we are naming the data types, whenever we are naming the attributes, whenever we are naming the strings. So there are certain conditions that we need to follow. So we will quickly look into that convention as part of this MongoDB concept. Okay. So collections, it will be identified with its own name. Okay. So obviously there will be unique name for one particular collection. Okay, so you cannot create a multiple collection with the same name. Okay, so even the MongoDB shell will not allow you to create a duplicate collection with the same name. Okay, so we have to be very careful whenever we are naming the particular attributes or particular string values in the MongoDB shell. Okay, so here empty string is not a valid collection name. Okay, so whenever you are giving the collection name, you should give value. You should not leave it as empty with only double quotes. There should be some values inside the double quotes. Otherwise, the things will never work. Okay. And if you look at the next point, collection name may not contain the zero. So these things already we have seen in the introduction part itself. Okay, so at least there should be one single key value. Even you can use a multiple key value, but you cannot leave it as an empty value. So it does not support the null character, null value in the MongoDB shell. Okay, and similarly, whenever you are trying to customize your data types, okay, you should not start with the system. Maybe if you take a basic visual script, you'll be importing some packages. You'll be exporting some packages by default using system.use or something. So here the MongoDB shell is not consisting of any kind of system defined things. So we cannot start with the system.user or system.namespace. Any predefined operations are not available in this MongoDB shell. Is it clear? And the next point, users created collection and should not contain the reserved character in the name. Okay. So whenever the user is trying to customize the keyword, okay, so we should not use this reserved keyword. We cannot use the customized word as it is. Whenever the user is trying to customize the attribute something, they have to use the dollar symbol in the string name before they are declaring in the initialization phase. So these are the rules that we need to follow in the naming convention. Okay, and so the next concept is about data types. Okay, so what are the data types are available with respect to this MongoDB database? Okay, so basically this MongoDB supports JavaScript object notation. So already I given you an example for this also. So, okay, if you have adequate knowledge in the JavaScript knowledge, so that it will be easy for you to go with the concept, MongoDB concept. Okay, so basically it has come up with 6 data types. One is about a null, boolean, numeric, string, arrays, and object. Okay, so here the first data type is about a null value. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, you can create the null values as we do in the traditional concept of RDBMS concept. Okay, so here you can create a null value, but here the thing is that what is the condition we should follow whenever we are creating the null value, whenever we are leaving the particular column as empty one, we should consider this value as null only in the values. Okay, so since it is following the condition of key values pair, it should the key should not be as empty. As you can see in the slide, here I have given some key name as X. Okay, so always there should be one single key at least. Okay, the condition, but what is the advantage of using this MongoDB means you can create a n number of keys, but at least there should be one key. That is a condition. But what is the advantage of using this MongoDB shell is that you can leave that value position as null one. Okay, even if you are trying to execute this one using the null operation, null data type, it will execute. But the value can be empty, the key should not be as the empty one. Okay, that is the condition we have to use that. So it provides the first data type is about a null. Okay, and similarly the Boolean value. So the MongoDB supports the Boolean value. So whenever you are trying to insert the records, okay, into the MongoDB shell, so it will generate the report. In case if the user is trying to insert the values into MongoDB shell using the document option, if the value is inserted, then it will show you true. In case if the document is not found in the database, then it will generate the message as false. Okay, that is the advantage of using this Boolean data type. Okay, well, it will tell you the result in the form of true and false. Okay, so if the document is matching in the document and then the collection, it will give you the result as true. Otherwise, it will give you the result as false. Okay, that is about a Boolean data type. And the next thing is about number. Okay, so the number can be used in two different ways. One is you can use the whole digit number or else the whole digit number as 3 only. But the condition is what we have to follow whenever we are declaring the number data type. It should not be enclosed by double quotes. But whenever you are inserting the string value, it can be enclosed by the double quotes. Okay, and what is the another advantage of using this number data types? Whenever you are using the whole digit number, it should be as a number long or a number integer data type. Okay, so if you are using the whole digit number, you can use it as a number. So the number long means whenever you are using the floating point number, you can use it as a number long integer data type. Okay, so this is the another data type that we use in the MongoDB shell. Okay, the next thing is that string value. So how to declare the string value? So the left hand side, whatever the information you are seeing the left hand side, the information as X, it will be considered as a single key value. It's a key value. And whatever the information you are seeing at the right hand side, it will be referred as the value. Okay, so that we are giving in the MongoDB shell. As well as if you want to print out the data of the system or something, you can use this new date function method. Okay, similarly, as you all know that the regular expression concept has been used in all the programming languages. Similarly, in the MongoDB shell, we use this regular expression concept, so we can use it for matching the documents, because when we write the huge amount of data in the MongoDB shell, we will not be able to quickly retrieve the particular information very quickly. So whenever you are using this regular expression concept, we will be able to fetch out the record very easily and efficiently within short span of time. That is the reason we are using the regular expression concept. Okay, then when it comes to the array data types, for example, if suppose in one particular collection, if you are writing so many documents, so if as a user, if I want to view the particular collection with many documents, I can use this array concept. I can do some push and pull operation. Okay, that we will see when we are doing answer session with this. Okay, and the next data type is about object ID. So I hope you remember about this object ID. As I said before, this is 12-byte ID for documents. Okay, so whenever you are inserting one particular document, the MongoDB shell automatically it will generate a 12-byte ID for the particular document. Okay, maybe that first 4 letter specifies a different thing, and similarly the last 3 digits specify something. Okay, that's why we will discuss about this, the object ID. Okay, similarly you can customize your own object ID. You can customize as a user, you can customize the ID in order to avoid the duplicate data which could be stored in the MongoDB shell. And the next data type is about code. So it is about a function. We can use some function method using this code data type. So these are the some data types that we use in the MongoDB shell. Maybe I'm just giving the overview about the MongoDB shell from the basic level. Maybe when you are learn about this MongoDB concept in the higher level of expertise, you will be able to explore many things with that. Okay, so you can go for different types of data types also. Okay, Okay, so the next concept is about embedded documents. What do you mean by embedded document? So here the document can contain entire document. Okay, so here it's not about writing the one particular document into one particular collection. Okay, so I can create n number of document into one particular collection. For example, here I'm collecting the name of the person and I'm collecting the address of the person. In the address, I'm collecting another 3 sub-documents as a street, city, state, similarly. Okay, so here I can embed the document one on another. Okay, so that is the advantage of using this MongoDB things. Okay, so I can have more number of documents into one particular collection. Okay, and here the what is that address is defining that key value pair. So as I said before, the key should be there. At least there should be a single key, and whatever the values you are giving at the right hand side, it will be referred as the values. So here the street, city, and state, this will be considered as the values here. So that is about embedded document. So the embedded means you are collecting the document on one another into one particular collection. Okay. Okay. So now we have just seen about the overview about MongoDB. What is MongoDB? What is a collection? What is document? And many things we have seen, right? So now we will move on to the installation steps. Maybe I can share this link in the chat. Oh, sorry. One second. Let me... Okay, because when you go to this link, it will redirect you to the home page. So it won't take you to the exact page of downloading the software. That's why I have taken the link already in the PPT. I'll share with you in the chat, and similarly, I will put it in the WhatsApp group. Okay, you just please do follow me while installing this particular software on your device. Okay, I'm just putting it in the chat. Similarly, I can post it in the group. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to install this particular MongoDB database on our device. Okay, so here when you click on that particular link, directly you'll be taken to the download section. So as you can see in this web browser, can you please confirm it? At least any one of the participants, are you able to see the screen, my browser screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so here you can see this MongoDB options to download this particular software. So at the right hand side, since I'm using the Mac OS, by default, it is asking me to download this particular software. In case if you are using Windows or Ubuntu or Linux, something related to that, you can change your platform. So as I said before, this is cross-platform. Even you can link with this Amazon link. Amazon, if you are using the Debian OS, also it supports the MongoDB things. Okay, even if you are the Red Hat user, Red Hat OS, it supports for that. Okay, similarly, it supports for all the version of Ubuntu, some advanced level. Okay, in case if you are using the Ubuntu version 12.4 or 13, it may not support for you. Okay, so you have to upgrade your OS, then you have to install it. Okay, so I think many of you people are using Windows. Okay, so in case if you are using the Windows, you please click on this Windows platform and you can choose the version also, because here as of now the recent version is showing as a 5.0 version. Okay, so similarly there are different number of version which start from 3.0 0.15, and now the current version is going on with 5.000. Okay, so the difference is that you'll be having some salient features to be added with this particular version. Okay, so it's not about the condition that you should use this particular version only. Maybe whenever you are installing the advanced level of version, you'll be having different features when compared with the other versions of the particular about the MongoDB software. Okay, so you can choose anything, and you can please click on the download button. I think parallelly, if you work with me, you can do that. Since I have installed this particular software on my device, I can't do that. Maybe you can click on the download option. So once the download is done, I think you should have the stable internet connectivity in order to download this package. Okay, maybe some of you people may be using lower connectivity, so that the download option maybe take some time, as well as in order to install the packages that cover in the MongoDB, it may take some time also. Okay, maybe that you can see the recorded video, as well as the YouTube link also has been shared with all of you already. You can watch through the video even after end of the session. Okay, so I'll tell you what is to be done further once the download is done. Okay, one second, I'll share my screen. Can you see this? Okay, so here I am just showing in the version of 4.2.1. So you can, so when I was downloaded this particular software, I have installed this one only, 4.2.1. Okay, when I am using my Windows OS. Okay, since now I am using the Mac OS, I just installed the 3 point something I have installed on my device. Okay, so once the download is done, okay, so you have to start your MongoDB shell. So how to start the MongoDB shell, that I will tell you. So once your MongoDB shell, MongoDB software is downloaded, you just go back to your program files. Okay, so in the program file, if you are using the Windows operating system, you just go to the program file, C program file, and there will be, you can see the folder name called Mongo. Something will be there. Okay, so you have to click on the MongoDB shell. So there will be a symbol like this. As you can see in this web browser, you will be seeing this symbol. Okay, so you have to click on that particular symbol in order to activate the MongoDB server. Okay, so the moment when you press on that particular server, maybe it will ask you to activate the server through your command prompt. Okay, can you see this screen, Shambhari ma'am or Kumar sir? Can you please confirm it? Can you see my both the screen here, which I am sharing on my device?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So here, when you click on that MongoDB server, you have to start that MongoDB server. Okay. So how to do that? So once your download is done, so you have to go back to your C colon, and you have to click on that particular symbol MongoDB. Okay. Once you click on that MongoDB cell, you have to just come back to the terminal, as well as one black screen will be opened by default once the application, that icon has been clicked once it's clicked. Okay, so here what you can do is that you have to type this command as mongo. So please note that you have to type it as a Mongo. So the moment when you type this Mongo, by default, it will be importing some of the packages by default. Then finally, you can see this greater than symbol. That means now that server has been activated, now you can work with the MongoDB shell. So that is a symbol you will be able to see whenever you are typing this particular command. Okay, so what you have to do is that you have to type Mongo something. Okay, so here when the moment when you type the Mongo, here you can see that greater than symbol. Okay, so now you can go to that another terminal. Okay, so now you can start work with that. So again you have to type here Mongo. Okay, so here one thing is that here I am using 2 terminals. Okay, so I can work with any one of the terminals also. Maybe I can proceed with this particular things, MongoDB shell. Okay, I hope this black screen is visible, right? Okay, so the moment when you see this greater than symbol, it indicates that now you are able to work with the MongoDB shell. Okay, so here the next step is that you have to create the collection name first. That means you have to create the database name first. So what I have to do is that I have to type as use. So use is the command to create the database. Okay, so for example, uses the command to create the collection name. So I'm just giving the name as simple, use simple. Okay, so when the moment when you type use along with the database name, then it will show you the message as switched to DB symbol. That means it indicates that you have created a collection. Now you can insert the value into the particular collection. Like that, you'll be seeing the message. That means it will indicate this particular message switched to DB symbol. Are you able to see this?
Sir.
Yeah, thank you. So now you can start inserting the document into particular document. So the what is the way to insert your uh, document into one particular collection? So this is the command we have to use. So in the traditional database, what we use to create the table, we'll be writing the query as create table and table name. We will be using it. But here in the MongoDB, it's very simple to create the table name. You have to use this keyword as use, and followed by you have to give the collection name. It can be anything. As per user convenient, you can give anything. So as of now, I'm just giving you as a simple one. Okay. So next, you can insert the values. So in the traditional database, how we will be performing the insertion operation, we'll be writing the insert into table name value, something we'll be writing, right? And similarly, here in the MongoDB database, we can write the document into one particular collection using this option, db.insert. You have to give the table, collection name. So here we never use that name table or row something. So instead of that, we use collection and document. Okay. So here I have given the database as DB, and I am just specifying what is the operation I'm going to perform. If you are inserting the document, you have to use this insert value. Okay, and followed by you have to use your collection name as simple, whatever the name you have given here. Okay, 1 second. I'll make it as full screen. Okay, so now what is the condition that we have to follow in the MongoDB shell? You have to use this parenthesis bucket always. Parenthesis followed by this curly braces. Okay, so now I'm just for example sake, I'm just going to collect the name of the person, so that I'm giving the key. The key. I'm specifying the key on the left hand side as name. Okay. And within the double quotes, I'm giving my own name as Nisman Trio. Okay, the moment when you given the attributes or field values into the particular document, you have to close this curly braces and followed by the parenthesis bracket. Okay, so when you're typing your document into one particular collection, if you are closing with opening and closing brackets, you have to. Sorry, 1 second. I made some error. Yeah. Insert dot simple. One second. I think some error is happening. db dot insert dot simple. Give me a minute. One error is happening. Let me check into that. left my. It's showing us the employee is not a function. 1 second, let me. Something is happening. Let me check it 1 second. Sorry, I think I have made some mistake with that. db dot. Yeah, now I got it. Are you able to see this result here? I have written one document into the particular collection. So the previously, what is the mistake I made? I have to write the collection name first, and followed by I have to write that operation which I am going to perform. Okay, so instead of that, I have written db.insert, then I have written the collection name. Are you able to see this one? I have just highlighted on my terminal itself. You can see these things very clearly, right? Okay, so the moment when you are writing the document into the MongoDB shell, into the particular collection, that result will show you that write result. So that means what? Your document has been inserted into the particular collection. Okay, so here it will show you how many key values that you have been inserted. And similarly, you can add n number of keys here. For example, I'm just adding the age of mine. I'm just adding it as 30 something. Okay, so now what is that? Another result, it's showing that I have inserted my age as 30, so that I can see this result. So here the question is that here I have inserted my document. Now how I can view this document in the structured order, or maybe in the formatted way. So that I told you, right? You can see this in the see the document as a document approach. Since it is a document oriented database, you can see this information as document view. So how we can see that? So for that, you have to use this command db dot name of the collection as employee dot find. This find command will help you to view the document as the information as a document view, so that you can see this. Can you see this? So the moment when you're typing this employee dot find function, you can see the information, whatever the input values that you have given in the particular document, right? So here, see, it is generating the ID automatically. So when I'm writing the query, it's not given from my side, right? So here the advantage of using this ID is that, object ID is that, which will help you to avoid the duplication record in the particular collection. Okay, so if you look at this object ID, the entirely that 11 digit will be similar one. The last digit will be different. Okay, for the one particular collection. And similarly, whenever you are creating another type of collection, so you'll be able to generate a different object ID, and you can perform with the MongoDB shell. Okay, in case if you want to customize your ID, for example, I have to customize an ID. For that, you have to use this notation, that underscore notation, followed by ID attribute and colon, followed by, you can give any number as per your wish. For example, I'm giving 1. Okay, so now I have inserted 3 values, which will be considered as a multiple key value pair. Why it has been mentioned as a multiple key value pair? because in one particular document I have written 3 attributes such as ID, name, and my age I have given. If it is only single key attribute, there will be only one single key attribute. So now what I am going to do with the MongoDB shell, I am just going to perform the duplication of the particular record. Okay, so now I am inserting this particular record so that it will generate the result as inserted. That means the value has been inserted into the particular document of the particular collection. Okay, so in case again, if the user knowingly or unknowingly, if they are trying to insert the same record with ID, what will happen? So it will generate an error message that. So what is indicating that employee.index duplicate key is generated because the ID one has been already used by the user. So that we cannot create a same document with the same ID. So that what I have to do is that I have to change this ID as 2. Now I can enter the create the document into one particular collection. So now I have to see this information in the document view. How to view the document using this find command. I mean find method. So I can see this information in the ordered manner. So this is how we are performing the basic operation with insertion. So maybe tomorrow I'll take you to the different operations which could be performed with the MongoDB operations. Okay. I hope maybe that is the reason today I couldn't demonstrate so much things because it will take some time to install the software on your device. Maybe some of you people may be connected to mobile hotspot. It will take some MB to install these packages so that you can download this package and be ready with your MongoDB shell so that we will move on to the next session on tomorrow. Okay, so with this, I close my day 1 session. If you have any queries, you can ask me so that I'll be able to answer for your queries, whatever the question you are answering. Thank you. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Jenny ma'am is asking which version should be downloaded. Ma'am, as I mentioned earlier, it depends upon your system compatibility. Okay, whether if you are using Windows, okay, in case if you are using Windows 8 or Windows 10, you can go for some advanced level of version. Maybe you can download 4 or 5 also. Okay. That you can use, ma'am. That is your wish. It depends upon the system compatibility also. Because sometimes what will happen when you are trying to install the higher version of the software of the MongoDB, sometimes your system gets hanged. So nothing can be done once you install the higher version of the software. Better, what I suggest, you can go for the version of 3 something, which are released by the MongoDB community people officially. You can go for 3.0 or something. It's there. You can try out also with those version. Okay. And some question. Please drop the hint for using tools PDF after the workshop, sir. Maybe, sir, definitely I'll try to do that because I'm assigned with some official work also. Maybe you can watch through the videos. Otherwise, I will share the PDF file with the coordinator, program coordinator, so that they will be forwarding to you. Okay. Yeah. Any more queries? I hope you people are trying to download this software. So if you could download this software as early as possible, so that we can proceed with the MongoDB basic operations on the next upcoming days, tomorrow as well as for a day after tomorrow. So because I'm not going to give you the advanced level of concept, because some of you people may be the beginner of this particular MongoDB database. Okay, that you can explore from your side and you can improve your knowledge on this particular database concept. Okay, so any more queries? Okay, maybe everyone is busy in downloading the software. Maybe in case if you are having any queries, in case if you are not able to download the software, you can ask me tomorrow also. The first 5 to 10 minutes will be discussing on this point. So then followed by, I will take you to some of the basic operation, what can be done with the MongoDB shell. Okay, so if no more queries, we can wind up, ma'am, Vishwambari ma'am and Kumar sir.
Yes, sir. Kumar, sir. Sir?
I think Sar is here, but he is not responding.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. I'll call him.
And one more information I would like to add in this juncture. And see, now we are discussing about the MongoDB concept, which is about a NoSQL concept. And similarly, there are n number of NoSQL concepts out there. So that also can be used for your research purpose or for your project purpose also, that you can explore if you have keen interest to explore a lot of things in that aspect. Okay, so that you can do. Yes, sir. Kumar sir, you can continue now.
Sir, I think Hasina madam raised hand. Do you have any doubts, ma'am?
Kumar sir, I'm just looking at the responses in the chat. Maybe some of the people may be raising some questions in the YouTube link also. If you could see any of the questions, you can let me know, sir.
Yes. No, they asked whether it's free of cost. MongoDB is free of cost. One question was there.
Yes, sir. MongoDB is a free of cost. That is open source software that we can download it from the internet resources itself. That is free of software only. But when you are trying to install this package on your device, so you must have stable connectivity. In case if the internet connectivity is getting disconnected, then you have to again start installing all the packages from the beginning. So that is the only thing that we need to follow while installing this package. Otherwise, it is a free of cost only that we can do. But in case, and similarly, I would like to add one more point. Maybe this MongoDB community server providing the space to store your data with a limited condition. Maybe if you want to store the large amount of data for your educational purpose or academic purpose, you have to pay some money for that also. It's like a cloud computing concept. Okay, so also this MongoDB people are having tie-up with that cloud community also, that you can see and you can buy the particular software accordingly. How much space is required to work in MongoDB? Zina ma'am, I think.
Sir, one question is raised by participants, sir. Can I
yes,
read?
sir. How much space, right?
How much space? Yes.
Yes. Hasina ma'am asked this question. Ma'am, actually, it depends upon your adequate size that you use on your device. Okay, so it won't require that much space to install this particular software. So it requires the minimum space to install this particular software on your device. It won't take that much one. Maybe it limited to in MB it will require some space. It won't take that much space in GT or maybe more than that. So it requires a space in MB only.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So okay, so I'm looking forward all the participants to take active participation in the next upcoming 2 days. We'll meet you tomorrow again. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
We can wind up now, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. So we have done with day 1. So we'll meet again on tomorrow.
Vishwambari madam.
Yes, sir.
You want to tell anything, any conclude? You want to give any points to the participants for tomorrow's?
Yes, tomorrow session the same will happen. So 100 participants only can be accommodated in Google Meet. So others can go for live streaming. Please do join earlier to be connected in Google Meet. Thank you.